Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I mix up my compost for when I'm doing seeds and when I'm potting on. The mixture I use is something that I was taught when I went on a River Cottage organic gardening course some years ago, and I've stuck with it because it works really well. If you've not already subscribed to my channel, if you could please do so, because you'll get lots of helpful hints and tips all throughout the year from my home garden, my allotment, and also from time to time my home kitchen. Now, I use something called Coir. I don't know if you might remember it as a child. You used to start your sunflowers off at school in them. So I buy a great big block. I don't soak it all in one go, I break it into chunks. So I've broke this one up into 4. So I pop that into a bucket like so, and I cover it with water so it swells out. So you need quite a lot of water, at least halfway up. I normally do it straight from my water butt, but for the purpose of the camera it's easier to show you. It really does need quite a lot of water, much more than you think. So I'm going to put quite a bit in there, and you'll be surprised how much that takes up. So the Coir has soaked up all the water, as you can see. I put a little bit too much water in, so I had to put a little bit more Coir in. So sometimes it's hard to get the balance right. So that's all nicely absorbed. So what I do is I mix 50-50 with Coir and with multi-purpose. So it's quite simple. I've got my little potting tray here. So if I just move this a little bit closer. So I just scoop out equal amounts and mix it together. So I think it's quite, one of the nice things about Coir is it doesn't take up much room, so it's actually quite good as a bit of emergency compost if you need it, rather than keeping lots of big heavy bags around the house, or around the garden I should say, not around the house. If I just scoop into here and get equal amounts out. Quite a fiddly bag of compost this. So one of these scoops is actually really quite useful. I picked it up from a garden centre quite a few years ago. Otherwise you use trails, which can be, they're okay, but not ideal, or using a plant pot is what I used to use before, which you would often end up breaking the plant pot. I think this was actually a pet scoop, I think, or something. So if you've not got one of these, I really recommend it. So when you think you've got equal amounts, which I think I almost have, you just mix it together with your fingers, breaking all the lumps up. So I might put a little bit more in. So there we go, mixing it all up, and that is what I use to sow my seeds into and to pot on my seedlings. So I hope this has been helpful for you and it will inspire you to get planting. If you can let me know your top tips of what you do to your young seedlings to get them off to a great start, I'm always happy to hear what everyone else is doing.